Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are talking today about Real Housewives of Orange County, episode 6. Not gonna drag it on too long, just gonna get right into it with my notes over here. So that's what I'm referencing over here. Once again, this episode just falls back into what I said. I think in my last video, I said Jen is making really poor decisions. What they were talking about her Rolex. She apparently has 2 Rolexes. She claims Ryan, her boyfriend, bought both of them for her. I think she's just screwing up left and right. She's just, and she posted something recently too about, she said on social media Ryan bought them for her, and then there was something else. I think they went on vacation again or something. It's just like, girl, just stop spending money. I don't know. Some people just have like this. She is trying to like live a certain lifestyle that she just can't afford right now. And I don't know if her boyfriend can afford that for her, but to be so reliant, she's just getting back into her old ways of being reliant on a man for money. And that's just, it's just not working for her right now. I feel like it was funny because she said in a confessional too, she was like, she was confused why Emily was annoyed at her and saying like, what, like I owe money or whatever. And it was like, you do though, don't you? Because you didn't pay your rent, so you got evicted. Like, isn't that the whole point that you got? And then on top of it, they were leaving their yoga studio because they didn't pay back rent, which granted, that was a deal that they had made with the previous owner or whatever, but still, there was money you didn't pay. So yeah, like that's what we're a little confused about. It's like, what is your money situation? Because it seems like you have no money and you're relying on your boyfriend. So Gina really irritated me this episode. She was just riding so far on the line. Also this episode goes into them. So I guess the group, I thought the whole group went to Big Bear and Palm Springs. Apparently that did not happen. Apparently they separated. Part of the group, Gina, Emily, Heather, Shannon all went to Palm Springs, and a previous housewife, Elizabeth, they went to her house that I guess she's selling. Gina's selling it for her. So they all went to Palm Springs. And the rest of the group, Alexis, Tamra, Jen, and Katie all went to Big Bear, to Tamra's house. And it annoys me because Gina is so like playing the fence with everybody and like, or like just like sitting on the fence with everybody and just be like, basically lying that she said like Katie, I think she's lying, that she's kind of pulling a Tamra in my opinion. And like, she's saying one thing behind the scenes and saying another to their face, you know, and on camera. She told Katie to go for it and bring up this whole Heather situation, and she egged her on. And then once it got on camera, was like, she's like, oh, I told her not to do that actually, and blah, 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 and I just want to be friends with Heather. I'm not really that great of friends with Katie, like all that stuff. It was like, okay. Also, Shannon is saying that supposedly, this is a greater story that is happening. Tamra just went on a podcast and talked about it, but Shannon is saying, so the $75,000 that John had lent to her for her, I don't know, various things. It sounds like plastic surgery plus other things. She's claiming that obviously they were going to spend more in lawyers' fees and all that than the $75K. So supposedly Shannon had offered John that money, but in return she was like, we're signing a non-disparagement agreement, and you and Alexis can like, we're just not going to talk about each other. Like, I'm not going to talk about you, you're not going to talk about me, and that's just the end of it. She's claiming John refuses to agree to that. And she is now feeling like they are basically blackmailing her and using the $75,000 plus. Tamra now has gone on a podcast and said that Alexis and John supposedly have videos from, I don't know if it's from multiple nights or whatever, or it's specifically her DUI night, that makes Shannon look really bad. Tamra was like, I haven't seen them, but they're really bad. It's like, okay, girl. So supposedly they're basically blackmailing her at this point. It's really, I don't know how like Shannon is not, I don't know if Shannon's pursuing any legal action. To me, it's like, you are blackmailing her because you refuse to drop this whole thing by just taking the money, and you're using video of her as like, oh, well, don't do this and that, or else we're going to release this footage. It's like, you're blackmailing her. I mean, I don't know how that's like okay or legal. It's probably not. But while I do like seeing some of the sort of B-roll, I guess, footage that they're trying to include in this episode kind of drove me nuts, because literally, like, there was a solid 10 minutes, I feel like, of the show that was just them driving in a car. And I don't feel like there was any new information really or anything interesting. I mean, I'm fine with, like, I like a little, break up the serious with the silliness and stuff. Like, it was fun seeing them, like, go through the drive-thru and eat fast food and all that. But, like, besides that, like, or them getting annoyed with Alexis talking about John nonstop. But besides that, it was, like, so long. It was, like, 40 full seconds of watching, like, Alexis, like, parallel park and stuff. It was, like, why is this, like, I don't know. It was just weird. It felt like a lot of fluff this episode. I said Alexis is insufferable, which a lot of people are saying now. They're just like, ugh, like, she will not stop talking about John. She's being such a weirdo. But it just feels like phony. I said she thinks she's fun, but really she's the annoying girl who doesn't shut up about her boyfriend. She's like that girl who she thinks she can, like, she's like, oh no, like, I want to have a night with the girls and I want to have fun, but the whole time she just spends it talking about her boyfriend and, like, is just utterly annoying. Also, I thought it was so funny. They were using a charcoal, watching them struggle to use the charcoal grill with the, like, lighter fluid. But literally they have the charcoal grill on top of a gas grill. I'm like, just use the gas grill that you're, like, what are you doing? Why are you using this, like, little tiny grill? I don't know. It was so funny. I don't know. Maybe Elizabeth didn't want them using her grill, but I was like, they were totally fine. Elizabeth was totally fine with them, like, totally fucking up her house every other way. But, like, no, don't use the gas grill. Use your little shitty charcoal grill that you don't know how to use and potentially light my house on fire. That is the better idea. I don't also understand why they're staying at this house that Gina is supposed to stage and sell, and they're, like, spilling shit everywhere. It was so hilarious. Okay, this is also where it takes a turn for me, and where I think there was valid criticism of Shannon and her actions, especially with the DUI and whatnot. But partway through the episode, there's a Tamra confessional where she says something about John, like, having a weight lifted off of his shoulders, and it was like, oh yeah, like 100 pounds of Shannon or whatever, something like that. Like, basically fat shaming Shannon. It was really gross, and I'm like, it's like, why are you fat shaming? That's so weird and so, like, gross, and it was just, it's tacky, it's low class, it's just like, it's just such a, like, shitty, rude, it's like I said, there's valid criticism that you could make against Shannon, but, like, to just do that is so, like, low, and it's like you're losing your argument by just making these stupid comments, you know? It's like you're not helping yourself. I'm not saying Tamra's in the right. I definitely don't side with Tamra. I'm just saying, like, she could have valid criticism, but when she says stuff like that, it just, like, invalidates your point because you're just being, like, petty and weird. Like, also, it was so weird how fast Emily, she talked to, I think it was Heather, I think she talked to, or was it Heather or Shannon? I don't remember. Maybe I'm no, it was Shannon, sorry. Shannon was talking to Emily and said something about how Gina was, I don't know, making comments about Emily. And Emily just completely, her whole demeanor changed, and she just comes in. It was so funny. I thought it was funny. I don't know. Just for her to come stand in the kitchen and just like this, like, and Gina was like just oblivious, just like la-di-da-di-do, just doing her thing. And Emily's like, she's like, what's wrong? Nothing. She's like, girl, I know something's wrong. You're like being ridiculous. You're like, so funny. Yeah, I said Gina's being messy, pulling a Tamra, and then at the very end, I thought it was funny because they were talking about OnlyFans, or Jen was like, oh, like, I don't know. Some of the housewives, they really bash OnlyFans, and I'm like, I don't think you realize, like, how much money you guys could make on OnlyFans. Like, I think you shouldn't bash it before you know. I understand there's, like, a a bad rap that comes along with it, maybe, as like you're that kind of person, or you're, I don't know what the negative connotation is to that necessarily, other than like you're doing something sexual maybe, but hey, get that bag. I don't even think they would even have to do that much like to make a lot of money. Like they could really just post like behind the scenes. I mean, the thing is, OnlyFans is not, yes, there is a predominantly, like, it is known for corn, as they call it, as the kids call it. A lot of people do that on there, but it is also just like basically a paywall service to put your content behind. So that could mean anything. You could really make it your own. So I don't know why people just always assume it's bad or negative. It's like, you could make so much money because people are out there willing to spend money to like be a part of your life in any extra way that they can, whatever that means for you, whatever you're comfortable with. But it's like, I don't know. They always dog on OnlyFans, and I'm like, I don't think you realize like how much money people can make on OnlyFans. It's kind of insane. So anyway, that was basically all my notes for the episode. It was a good episode. It's getting better. I'm still a little like waiting. I'm like, it's getting a little bit more interesting with the John and Shannon situation. Personally, that's all I'm really interested in at this point. I don't really care about anything else that's going on. To me, the like Gina, Katie, Heather stuff is so dumb. Like, I don't even care anymore at this point about that. I'm just like, okay, what's going on with Alexis and John and all that? That's about it. I just wanted to make this short video. I've also been making a lot of shorts content, so go and check that out. That is where I update the most often right now, just because I can make like quick, easy little videos about like current news that's going on. So check out some of my shorts videos. And yeah, and I have a couple other videos that are coming out about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake and RHOC seasons that are coming out. The trailers dropped, so I'm going to be releasing those videos very, very soon. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!